Hello, how are you? Happy
I'm
Wednesday.
good.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. How's work going? Everything going okay with your work life?
Yes.
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 Home life good?
Sure.
Good, good. Writing life good?
Sure.
Oh, good, good. Hey, Morningstar. Hey, Easy Graphics. Thanks for being here with us. Hey, Jocelyn, the gang's all here. Thanks.
Yay.
We
Hey
changed
everyone.
from Tuesday to Wednesday this week, so thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Um, yeah, so we are here to write or be productive. What you gonna work on, Ellie?
Perfect.
Anything good today?
I I'm writing some notes. I'm hoping to get some good books for Christmas about writing description and stuff. So at the moment I'm just writing a few notes about what I want to add description in. Does anyone know, like, there are quizzes for everything on the internet. Does anyone know any good quiz for, like, how to find what genre you should write in? I feel like I need one of those quizzes right now.
What are you questioning about your genre? I thought you were doing like fantasy, paranormal, reverse harem. Like, what are you questioning?
See,
Romantic.
I'm fine with the fantasy and the paranormal, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, do I write steamy romance because sex sells? We all know sex sells, and people seem to be loving the smut at the moment. But I'm not sure that I'm actually. I don't have as much fun writing the romance as I do writing the fantasy.
Maybe have you checked out a lot of those TikTokers who are doing the more YA fantasy where there's a little sexual tension between the main characters, but they don't kiss or go do anything. Like,
I don't want to write YA. I can't
but you
cope
know,
with college age children. They're just
yeah, but they almost seem to me like they're semi-adults. They're just not addressing the sexual tension stuff. You know what I mean? Like if you watch, I mean, I haven't read any, so I'm not the expert. Maybe somebody else is. Obviously, others are. But I'm just saying, like that one show that was on Netflix recently. What was it called? Bone and Ash. Forget what it was called, but like they were, yeah, they. I guess they were teenagers or young 20s, maybe, but they weren't like. Never once thought they were high school or thought they were younger. Like, you know. But there was sexual
teenagers.
tension, but yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that even if they're young 20s, mid 20s, I think that they're still kind of in that realm that a YA or new adult person would read, or anybody interested in fantasy. That's kind of what they're reading right now, is that kind of stuff.
I was heading more up to the paranormal women's fiction.
So
Like I'll
right,
write older
okay,
women.
yeah, write that then. Is that Have you looked into paranormal women's fiction to see?
I have a little bit, but it tends to, like, I need just a new genre of like 30-year-olds who are like heading into their 40s and just
Well,
don't want to deal with all
is
the
that what
romance. They just want to get on and
yeah.
do stuff.
Well, is that what women's fiction, paranormal romance women's fiction is
Paranormal's women, PWA
paranormal
is
women's
generally a little
fiction.
bit, yeah, it's a little bit older. It's aiming at the like mid 40s to 50s and upwards, and the menopausal women and the
Yeah, so it sounds like you have your
divorced and onto
answer.
their second man women and all of that. So,
Well, Easy Graphics says to write what you want to write. Ali Dover, Jocelyn says
see,
fantasy is such a broad genre, it can be tough to categorize, but it sounds to me like you
yeah.
just did. You figured out your paranormal women's fiction. What would make you not fall into that then?
My character's not old enough for that, and she's not at that whole mother with children and doing the second part of life thing, or the third part, I guess, because children and then maiden and mother, and then that's more into the. I
Have
just.
you looked that far into paranormal women's fantasy to realize that there is a specific age group like that, or does it run the
Yeah.
gamut from young to old?
No, the paranormal women's fiction is very much. Or it's not, because there is some stuff written younger that's being sold as that, but the authors who grouped together to begin it as a genre had very specific
Mm-hmm.
intentions for what they wanted.
There's
I know
nothing
what
new
I
adult.
want to write, but what
Mm-hmm.
sells well
Yeah,
is all the sexy terms.
it's hard
And
because
trying to,
they say to write to market, but
yeah,
write to market, but write what you want, which can be hard to justify both ways.
yeah. Like I want to write what I want, but I also do actually want to make money out of it. That
Mm-hmm.
would be, yeah, that'd be nice. So,
I
and
wonder,
there's
does
such a big audience. If you write the smutty books, there is such a ready-made audience right there waiting, going, give me all the smut.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, it makes marketing it much easier.
So you're saying you don't want to write the smut, you just want to focus on the fantasy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure it's the smut that's putting me off, it's the romance. Like, writing a male character that I can fall in love with seems to be remarkably tricky for me right now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Hmm.
Just like, I don't like that guy, I don't like that guy, I don't like that guy. I don't like any of the men. Why can't all the men just go away? Like, they can be there for the sex, but then can they just go after that and just leave?
Maybe that is the basis of
Why
your
does she have
fantasy
to
then.
end up with one?
Maybe the basis of the fantasy part of your story is that they're only convenient for a short term and then they go away.
The romance readers want that happy ever after crap.
Even in romance, paranormal fantasy stuff, they still want that happy ever after.
No, that's not women's fiction, I think, so I'm not really sure. I'd have to read some of that and find out what they're after.
Yeah. I would say reading. I would say talking to people. How about your friend who writes reverse harem? Will she have any insights into your quandary?
Her insight is mostly sex sells, right? Right.
How about you get a partner who can help you write those parts of it? You know what I mean? So that you can have a good blend.
Maybe.
But yeah, I don't see anybody saying anything about any kind of assessment out there, survey or assessment out there to decide what you should write. It really is investigation, right? You really have to read through the genres. You might find a little pocket. Like for example, there is a group of writers who are writing, 40 and 50-year-old women, some 30s, cougars that are writing steamy contemporary romance or steamy small town romance, but specifically for that age group of women, aged to perfection women, right? It's not yet it's not yet.
That's such a great term.
Yeah. If you don't like writing something, it'll be tough to write a book out of it.
Right.
But you know what I mean? They exist and they're writing and they're promoting their books in that way. But there's not yet an Amazon category for them. There isn't I think there might be some later in life stuff under fiction or women's fiction, but they're doing it anyway, and I think that you should be able to find women who are doing the same thing and wanting to do the same thing as you. You just need to maybe reach out in those groups specifically for your ask. Here is what I'm wanting to write. Who else is out there writing this that you know? And see who they send back so that you can start reading them and investigate. That'd be my suggestion. Megan says, what a topic. Mary Lou, just stopping in and say hello.
Thanks.
Have to go wrangle some children. Thanks, Mary Lou, for dropping in.
Thanks for dropping in. Enjoy your children wrangling.
That would be my take on it, would be just ask in all the groups, because other people will know, somebody, and then maybe that person you talk to them and that person you talk to them and do your research, that way. Because authors are usually happy to refer other authors or talk, authors are happy to talk about about what you're doing and what they're doing and try to find connections to authors. So maybe you'll find
Yeah.
somebody who's, yeah.
That is a good suggestion, Z. Thank you.
And I know you're in a bunch of groups, so, you know,
I am.
put it out there.
Many groups.
Even on TikTok, put it out there as a question, or any smutty fantasy writers on TikTok that you follow, or anybody, even if it's not what you're talking about, that you follow them that are connected to fantasy or whatever paranormal. Ask them, hey, this is what I want to write. You know, I would reach out to them on the DMs in TikTok. This is what I write. This is what I'd like to write. Do you know anybody who's doing this that I could talk to? Because I just want to make sure it's a thing and what's going on in this area as I'm writing.
Yeah.
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 Don't be afraid
That's
to
a really
reach
good
out too,
suggestion.
because a lot of authors will be happy to respond to you. You know, they're not.
Yeah.
There's very few authors out there who wouldn't respond. So just put yourself out there, because the worst they can say is no or not answer you, and that's okay, because somebody will, as long as you keep asking. You know,
Yeah.
that would be my advice.
Yeah.
I hope that helps.
It's good advice. Thank you.
I'm going to get off the advice train now. So. I'm a little stressed today, so I'm going to work on some social media posts for the set that's coming out on Monday. Do a little newslettering, a few other things like that. Maybe even start looking at promos for December 31st for the next release. I don't know if I'll get down to writing. My headspace isn't quite there today after work stress. Fun. What about everybody else? Megan, what are you writing? Easy, what you working on? Jocelyn? Morning Star? Anyone else who's with us? Tell us what you're working on.
Let us know all your problems.
Yes.
We can stop talking about mine.
What are all the questions today? Send them our way. Put your questions in the comments. Let's see what's going on. Easy. Booksy. Ooh, promos. Thinking about doing one with Bargain Booksy. I love Bargain Booksy. They did great for me in romance. I have no idea about any other categories. Draft 3 edits for book 1. Awesome, Megan. That's awesome. What's Easy say? I'll be writing a bit today, still work in progress with my nonfiction. Awesome. Yay!
Yay, all the writing.
Mom's sitting here. Mom, are you doing your memoir today?
No, I'm ordering fan lights.
Ordering what?
I'm ordering ceiling fans.
Oh, my mom is ordering a ceiling fan for a place in Arizona. Funny. But she's here. She's visiting. We've had a nice visit.
Mom.
Allie says hi.
Did you have a good birthday?
Yeah, it was all right. We did it. It's been a nonstop for 2 days. I feel like we've been nonstop. It's been kind of crazy. Morningstar, closing up for work day. Easy graphics. Ceiling fan is way more important than writing. Yes. All right. Well, we better hop into it then. How's that sound?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it, everyone. Allie, are you going to research then? Or are you going to write? I didn't hear. What do you want?
I don't know. I'm going to do something. We'll find out in 20 minutes.
Okay, Allie. We will see you in 20, everyone.
See you in 20. Good luck.
Check back in. Hey, we are back. How did everyone do for that writing session, productivity session, whatever it is you did? How'd you do, Ellie? How'd it go?
I got about 138 words.
Nice. Good for you. That is super awesome. Getting underway here. We have 2 more sprints to go, huh?
Yeah. How did you do?
I did good. I got 5 graphics made for Monday, but I'm going to put them out between now and Monday. So yeah, I probably could have shared screen
Awesome.
while I did it, but I didn't. So
That's okay.
so yeah, those are ready to roll. I will in our next writing session, I will figure out captions and hashtags for each one. So I can then go into schedule them in my Facebook page, not group, in the business scheduling thing for Instagram and Facebook. So those will be done. I might work on a video or 2 or 3, I'm not sure, or realive some videos from that I have used already for each one. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, because video is nice. And then all I'll have to focus on is TikTok, daily TikToks, and newsletter. So that should do us for Monday's launch of the set. Wait,
Excellent.
Allie, look.
Look at that back.
No. It is
That's awesome.
so, oh my gosh. It's so bizarre to hold a hardcover. It's so cool.
Check you out with your back.
I want that for you. Oh my gosh. You gotta get there, Ellie.
Yeah, we'll get there.
You will. You will.
Yeah, we will.
Easy graphics, yes. That sprint went by fast. Looks good, yes. It was fun.
does.
It was fun to do. You know, it's all for my vanity is all it is. That's all it is. I'm just happy to have it sitting here. So I have all of them. And here's the paperback. I have them all sitting on my desk. That's my view. My view on my
Just
desk.
right. In like a
fun.
year or 2, it'll be a bookshelf. They won't all fit in your desk anymore.
I know.
You'll have a bookshelf,
Wouldn't
bookcase.
that be
That's the
fun?
word.
I know. That would be so
Yeah.
much fun. Yes. Yeah. I hear little kiddos outside your window.
Oh God, do you? I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Is it your
That's
kiddo?
Charlie.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Charlie
his
outside my
little
bedroom.
voice. Oh.
He's not in nursery this week, so we don't have to be up super early, so he's not asleep yet.
Oh.
So.
Wow.
And I've got headphones in, so I can't hear him.
Yeah.
You can hear him
Yeah.
in America, and I
Yeah.
cannot hear him outside my door.
That is funny. How did everyone else do? Megan, how'd you do?
Yeah, how'd you all do?
We have somebody named Justin Case just joined us. Let us know how you're doing. He's writing urban fantasy. Kate isn't here. She writes urban fantasy too, but usually she's here with us. Jocelyn, how'd you do? Morningstar, how'd you do? Easy Graphics, how'd you do? Let us know. We're curious. We need to know. We need to know, and we need to support. Yeah. So, okay. So, do you feel good about the words you wrote? What were you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went back to chapter 1 and just I just wrote some little changes, because like when I first wrote it, I was like, oh, I must have the hook, and I must not put too much description, and we must not do this and that. And do you know what? I feel like my writing will be much better if I just stop thinking about what we should and shouldn't put in and just write what I want to write.
Yeah. There's always something we can do to strengthen things. Always.
Yeah.
I don't think that ever stops, unfortunately.
No.
But ultimately, you have to also be happy with your story, and
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah.
I think that we do tend to put a little pressure on ourselves to conform to,
Yes. It must be exactly right.
yes. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to
No.
be something that people don't want to put down. And that's really the hard and fast rule. And how do you do that? Yeah, there's probably a million people out there saying exactly how to do that. But if you have a strong first sentence and you have characters that grab me and interesting political, or I was going to say political, yours is political, but an interesting plot, I'll stay with
Yeah.
it. On the HEA group, the woman on the name's Keely, I forget the name. I think Mary Lou left too, but she would know the name. But she says the end of the first paragraph should leave a question in the reader's mind. And that question is what, kind of keeps them reading the rest of that page, and etc. Because, if there isn't something that grabs them or is interesting, then, they might put it down. Of course, there's many other things like bad proofreading and stuff like that, which Allie usually perfect. But I'm just saying that, I think if you have those basics, you'll be fine,
Yeah.
Let's see. Easy says, I write a section, then rewrite it like 5 times. Takes me ages to write this nonfiction.
Yep. I feel your pain, Easy.
Yeah. I know. I think always the best written chapter is like the first one, because every time I would read it and redo it, and start there every time before I got to where I left off. There we go. Subscribe. See you another day. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks for watching. All right. Okay, so what are you going to write next, Allie? Going to keep on going?
Yeah.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Have fun with it, too,
See, that's what I'm trying to do. I like the fun. I want to enjoy it.
That's what we're all here to do. And yes, some of it does get stressful, but it's also the most fun. It's more fun than any other job. Because it's ours, and it's our passion, and it's our story, and we want to put it out there for others to enjoy,
Yeah.
Do you read at night to your children?
No, my children don't really like reading. I think they've both taken after their daddy in that way. They like to watch stuff, but they're not that keen on books. My youngest is more in favour of books than my eldest, but even then it's like I try and read a book to him and he's like, no, turn the pages like this, and just
How would he be interested, like watching you on your YouTube reading the book to him, or watching a video of you reading the book to him on his little device? So at least he's hearing and reading and looking at things with you, and you're showing the pages. I think he'd be mesmerized if it was you on the video. You don't think so? Yeah.
So you want me to make a YouTube video of me reading a book to him
or
that he
any
can then
video
watch on his pad?
Yeah.
Rather than me sit there with him.
Yes, because any reading is reading. Yes, absolutely. Sure. And it doesn't have to be put it up on YouTube and do it all fancy. Just do it on your phone, record that night's chapter or story you're going to read to them. And, I think it'd be a good test. You should try it. And see what happens. Yeah. Especially if he's so into his device, he'd be like, Mommy. Yeah, I'll bet you he'd be enthralled.
Maybe. We'll see. We will experiment.
It's kind of like audiobooks, but it's Mommy. Yeah. I bet he'd love it. And you guys could snuggle, and he's watching, and you're watching it together. And, it's the quality time, right? And the snuggling. Yeah, and then he's hearing you. He's hearing words. He's hearing stories. You can pause and ask him, what did Mommy say that color was? You can do different stuff like that and interact with it. I think it'd be cool. And there you go, Allie. You could just start a whole business right there from that. I have to say, I love reading to children. Did you love it when you were in teaching and stuff, like just being able to put different voices and and then you turn the book around and you show them, and then you go back and you read. It's like, I love reading. Yeah. I love little kids' books. I honestly thought I would write little kids' books, honestly. I studied it for a while, like 32 pages. Here's exactly what you do, the whole thing. Yeah. But I don't know. It's a whole different way of writing,
Yeah.
So my mind just isn't that immature. I'm pretty immature, but not that immature. And I couldn't grasp these little animal characters. But anyway. Easy Graphics, struggling. Jocelyn, you're doing fine. Since I butchered chapter 1, it's been coming together quite nicely. Okay. It's cool. Sometimes we have to butcher, sometimes we have to kill, sometimes we have to,
That's right.
yeah, change it all
Naming
up.
no names.
Moving the end to the beginning and the beginning to the end and moving things around and saying what if, that's how we get there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's right.
All right, we better head into our second. Sounds good?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We'll see you guys on the flip side.
See you in 20.
Alrighty. We are back. I was just listing a couple things and doing my social media, like I told you, and I was noticing in Booksprout they have freeloader prevention explained, and I never noticed before. I guess I just went with basic the whole time, but it does have an ultra option. But the further you get, like they say, basic. It says minimum estimated chance of reviewer writing a review. Like basic is NA, standard is 25%, and ultra is 50%. So I never read this. Let me see what it says. It says there's a detailed explanation. So anyway, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. What's everyone else doing? What's going on out there? What'd you do, Allie?
I did a little bit more writing. I think I did about another 150 words, although I deleted some as well. So.
That's okay. Nice. Progress. It's all good. Do you feel good about it? That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Feel good about it. Cool. Jocelyn Carter, see you later, Easy. Oh yeah, Easy left us. But Jocelyn, you wrote it. I don't think that's her current book, is it? But she wrote a past book. Is that what she's saying? Fantasy. Kids' books are broad, just like fantasy. It's all by age group. Mine are for ages 8 to 12. It got 5 short chapters and 84 printed pages.
That
so
sounds really
cool.
short for 8 to 12-year-olds.
So cool. Well, is it? You have to give us a link or something, Jocelyn, so we can check it out. I don't know that I've ever checked out these things from her. So, Jocelyn, we're curious people. We got to know all the details. So
Yeah, we do.
yes, please share.
I'm not entirely sure what age range they're designed for, but I know one of my favourite writers, Tamora Pierce. In one of the books she wrote, one of her later books that she wrote after the Harry Potter books had come out, and like 4 or 5 books down, Harry Potter books down the line, in her introduction or credits or something or other, her like notes from the author, she mentioned how grateful she was to J.K. Rowling for making publishers aware that children could in fact read books longer than 150 pages, something like that. And it cracked me up, because her books went from like little books to the bigger books just after Harry Potter came out.
How funny. Oh my gosh.
Like now publishers believed it.
Yeah. It's so funny how traditional publishing had their set,
Yeah.
And
These are the things, and everyone must stick to the things, because
exactly.
all readers only want this. Like you can't publish more than like 1 book a year because readers don't want you to. And you're like, have you met romance readers?
Yeah.
Like if you published 1 book a week, they would still be asking for more.
Aww, the bee book.
That sounds so cute.
I know. Okay, Jocelyn. Okay, let's look it up. Bee book. Is it Jocelyn Carter? Is that the name you used? You have to let us know. There's little bee books. Aww. The bee book. Discover the Wonder of Bees. But I think she's talking about a real like fantasy, not real book.
I found the Bee book by Charlotte Milner.
Charlotte Milner. That's what I'm looking at it too. Is that you, Jocelyn? You have to let us know. Look at all the ones on bees. How cute. That is really cute.
Yeah, let us know, Jocelyn. I will literally spend 10 minutes here
looking at bee books. Because seriously, how cute are they? Yes. Oh, that is really cool. Well, let's pull up this one from Charlotte, the Bee book. Did you ever see the Bee movie? With your kids?
I'm not sure.
Oh, it's so cute. It's the first movie I took my son to, my oldest to. And way back when. So, yes, it's called the Bee movie. It's animated, and it is so darn cute.
See, I feel like they've watched it, and I wanted to watch it, and then the children, or the child, because I think that was back when I only had one of them, wasn't as interested, and I ended up not being able to watch the whole thing, and I remember being disappointed.
See if Charlie will watch it with you. That's really cool.
Maybe.
The bee book looks awfully cute. Fuzzy, discover more about our Fuzzy. But you know what? I think, that doesn't look, it looks like a nonfiction though still. And I feel like Jocelyn's writing fiction. Did she answer us yet? Jocelyn, get back on here and answer us.
We need to know more.
Well, I feel, did she tell us this before? I don't remember.
I don't remember her mentioning
I
a
know.
children's book before.
I thought she was writing thrillers and that kind of thing.
I feel like she's been holding out on us here.
She has an alter ego, an alternate life. It's so funny when you discover something about somebody that you've only been doing stuff with for a while.
Right?
Interesting.
You're like, you've done these other things? You exist outside of this space? That is just... It's like children get when they see their teacher outside of school, right? And they're like,
Yes.
oh my god, you don't live in the school?
Sci-fi fantasy. You know what? Jocelyn's probably going, geez, you women, I've only told you this like 5 times in the past because, it's our typical mommy brain. And
That would not surprise me.
Allie, you and I have chatted before that we need to keep a spreadsheet on people because we just do not
do.
remember details. Sometimes I feel like I'm in that movie where you wake up the next day and you forgot everything that came before.
Yes.
You need to have an audio, to listen to first before you get out of bed to remind you
Yes.
everything.
I've seen that film. I can't think what it is, but
I
I've seen it.
know. Is it 50 First Dates or something like that where the girl
Something
has
like
to
that,
listen
isn't
to
it?
Yeah, that was really cute.
Yeah.
My published book I wrote and illustrated. Okay, Jocelyn, is it under Jocelyn Carter? You have to answer us that though. Because then we will find you, Jocelyn, and we will look at your book. And we may even... Well, this one's 47 pages, so I know that's not hers. Is there Jocelyn Carter? Jocelyn. She's just laughing at us doing all this research, aren't you, Jocelyn? Jocelyn Carter, B-Book. I don't know. Nothing's coming up for me. How about you,
No, I
Allie?
ain't getting anything.
Maybe she's not in Amazon, though. Maybe she's in iBooks or Wide. See?
Ah, hang on.
Oh, wait.
She's
Published
told
in-
us.
Oh, Elizabeth J. Carter. Liz J. Carter. Oh, Elizabeth and Liz. Cute. There. Oh, Morningstar's got it up because she's talking about the Giants.
Okay. The first thing that comes up, I typed in the B book Liz J. Carter and I got The Silent Wife by Karen Slaughter. What? Like, what search is that?
Look at Liz J. Carter WordPress.com. She's an illustrator and everything. Jocelyn, you have been like, I have had people ask if they knew of an illustrator and everything. And I'm like, no, I don't know any illustrators. And here you are. An author and illustrator who focuses children's books and fantasy with a pinch of science fiction. Nobody Told Me I Couldn't by Elizabeth. Oh, isn't that cute? And look at the bee. Oh, I believe this is true. I've been told from, I sold Mary Kay for a long time. And one of the things is the bumblebee. That is their saying. And they say that the bumblebee is a sign of success because it flies even though aerodynamically its wings its body is too heavy for its wings to be able to lift off the ground, but somehow it does it anyway. So there you go.
Yes.
That is my little speech for the day. So I'm thrilled that you write about bees, Jocelyn. I think that's really cool. Look at this pretty butterfly she has on there. That is so cool. Good for you, Jocelyn.
Nobody Told Me I Couldn't by Elizabeth J. Carter.
This is my favorite student graphic design project based on the word artificial. Wow. Very cool.
That's awesome, Jocelyn. So awesome.
That is really neat, Jocelyn. Good for you. I think that's really cool. Netflix is constructing a Narnia-verse. You can't escape us now, Jocelyn. We're all over you. We brought you up here. You're stuck with us now. Oh, I'm really proud of you, Jocelyn. That is awesome. Very, very, very cool. Oh,
That
you bought it.
is.
Morningstar bought it. Aw. Very sweet.
I love the
Very
concept
sweet.
of that title. Nobody told me I couldn't.
No, and I love that she's hung out with us all this time, even though clearly she's beyond us. Oh, Jocelyn, that is really sweet. Very cool. Very cool. I love her little logo. Hi, I'm Liz J. Carter at the top. Very cool. Aw. Okay. Here we are talking about romance and all the steamy stuff, and she's writing for 8 to 12-year-olds.
She's writing Adora books.
Adora books, yes. Aw, very cool. That gives you some, doesn't that give you some, like, we can do this. Doesn't that make you feel good? We're all
It
doing it.
makes me
Look
feel
at,
good that she can do this.
and Morningstar's got her books going, and what
All
are you
you
on?
peoples are doing awesome.
What are you on now?
That's true.
Morningstar, book 2, book 3? I know she just got I think her book 1 audiobook is done. You guys are the awesomest. Thanks, Jocelyn. You guys are too. Aw. I'm going to be gone. We're going to have to talk, Allie, about what we're doing while I'm gone, because I don't know
Yeah.
if it's going to, I don't want to miss everything, and I feel like I'm going to be scatterbrained for several days. So we'll have to talk about it. But anyway,
Yes, we will.
we are
We'll have to
the
talk about who's
awesomest.
setting them up.
Anyway, well, we should head into our third 20 because we're running a little behind
Yes.
today. Let's do that.
we are.
Everyone, let's keep being productive one more time. And congratulations, Jocelyn. That's awesome. And we'll see you guys on the flip side.
See you in 20.
See you in 20. And we're back. That is it for us. How did everyone do? Let us know. How'd you do, Allie?
I'm not sure how. Not very well.
Not very well. No, don't let that be.
I got about 10 words. I think I deleted more than I wrote that time. Well, clearly not quite, but close. That's okay.
I'll show you what I
It was still
created.
progress.
Yes, every progress is good progress. So I did these general ones about the 3, and then I just brought in 3 couples with 3 phrases from the books. So, and then I'll do different captions and stuff. Yeah. It's hard when you're doing a book of 3. It's like, what do you focus on? You know, it's interesting. I'll have to keep a better eye out for what other people are doing. Anyway, so that's what I did. I did that. I did an ARC. Oh, I did find out Booksprout. So they do have 3. They have reviewer scores. So reviewers get scored and they get tossed out if they're not reviewing like promised. So they have this this freeloader prevention setting, they call it. So if you have 4 options, you can click here. I'll share screen on this too. It'll be easier. Here we go. There, share. So if you click on if you click none, then they won't prevent anyone from participating in the ARC. And for the $10 a month plan that I paid for, it's $50 or 50 reviewers allowed. And like I said, I've had like up to 20 reviews. You know, was the max that I've gotten in the past 3. Like 15 to 20 is what I've gotten each time. So like even if you list 50, you're not going to get all 50. And if you are, you're very lucky. And so I think last time the last 3 times I chose basic, and the basic setting will only consider past ARCs when determining if a reviewer can participate. If a reviewer is outstanding, has outstanding ones, they actually have to finish that or cancel the last one before they'll be allowed to start another one. This time I chose standard, and it says that they'll need to have completed at least 25% of past ARCs in order to be allowed to apply for yours. Where ultra is 50%, which is interesting. So I waffled between 50 and standard, but I said, well, I'll try standard this time and see what happens. So I mean, there are some protections involved in. I know a couple of people. Well, I know one person, Daisy Jane, in our group, says that she thinks Booksprout is where she had the piracy happen. I don't know how or why she thinks she can prove that. There's nothing that I see that is any way to prove that, you know. I mean,
I think if you wanted to actually find out, what you would have to do is publish a subtly different version everywhere that you publish it, or everywhere that anyone sees it, and then specifically look out for those differences, and you'd find out exactly which version was pirated. I would be really curious to know, because I wonder very much whether it's directly from Amazon.
I don't know. I mean, who knows? If people are going to pirate, they can get it and pirate. You know?
Oh yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah.
But it just, to me, it seems much more logical that they would be ripping off directly from Amazon somehow than going around all the little sites. Because let's be honest, most of them aren't like. They're not actually romance readers. They're not actively reading in all these sites. They're not part of the publishing industry. They're part of some massive pirate site somewhere that couldn't care less what it's pirating. It's just pirating something.
Yeah.
So.
And you know, I think I've been really happy with the team that I've been able to put together from here. And it's just very last minute, I decided to go ahead and put this set on there and just see if anyone new came around who hadn't read this set. So we'll see. We'll see if we get a few more new ones. I've got a nice team going, but that's been 3 times. So I highly recommend it. I don't know. I know they're, you know, like I said, Daisy's against it, but she's the only one I heard who I think is really against it. But I like I said, that's the first time I read about that. I think before I just was quickly going through and I chose, you know, basic or whatever. But this time I chose standard. So we'll see what happens with standard.
Yeah, be interesting to know.
With my street team, though, I use BookFunnel, the certified mail, to deliver it, and that is only that person at that email can download one time. So there's not like
Yeah.
they can't spread it around to 50 million other people. If they wanted
Yeah.
to share it with their 10 best friends, they'd have to pretty much copy and paste, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of a nice another measure of security once you have your team in place, because you actually have to put the email addresses you're sending it to into BookFunnel's certified mail.
Yeah.
Thing.
That's good.
So anyway, just some info there. Thought that was interesting to share because I'm learning something new today.
Yeah.
Megan Pierce added some more attention to an action scene. Awesome, Megan.
Yay.
All right, that's all I got. How about you, Allie? Anything else? How'd you do?
No, I did okay. I was reading through my first sex scene, and then I got a bit distracted. I think something maybe bleeped on my Facebook, and there was a post talking about rules of writing and things that like long published authors do when they're breaking all the rules that the new authors are told they have to stick to. And I got a bit distracted trying to find that quote from Pirates of the Caribbean that's like, I mean, it's really more like guidelines than actual rules.
Yeah.
And in trying to find that quote, I found a load of other quotes and got distracted reading them. So.
Yes. Well, that's exactly what you were
Oops.
talking about, though. See, you found what you needed, right? You found the impetus to go ahead and write what you want to write, I mean, keep in mind what those guidelines are, but write you do you, Allie,
Yeah.
And there's something else you just said, I forget what it was. Facebook. Anyway, you do you, Allie. You'll be fine. Just keep going. That's the main thing. You keep adding the words, you keep editing, and you will get to the finished product, and you'll be as big as your friend in fantasy someday. See? Oh, and I was going to tell you, I have read your steamy scenes before. You're fine. You're really good at them. I know that they're hard to do, and I know that they're like a pain in the ass.
It's
but
not the steamy that I mind so much. It's the romance. It's like, I mean, can't they just have sex and he goes home? Like.
But I thought that was really more what Reverse Harem was all about, was kind of more sex than a ton of romance.
No.
Am I wrong?
Reverse Harem, you have to make relationships with like 5 different men. And like, if one man's tiring enough, imagine 5 of them hanging around.
Well, what does your friend say who writes Reverse Harem? What does she say? What's her name again? Give me her name.
Debbie.
Yes. What does she say about it? About the romance part of it? Does she have any good tips for you? Have you reached out to her?
Yeah. She's looking at writing some just regular MF next year. So.
Wow. Good for her. Just because she sees a trend, or what, is she just tired of Reverse Harem for a while?
Yeah, I think she's a little bit like, there's only so many sex scenes you can write before you just want to not write quite so many right now for a little bit.
Yeah.
But she'll be like, she's just having she always has several series on the go.
Yeah.
So some of them will be just MF. So.
That's great. That's great. I think you'll be fine. Just I don't know about the romance part. That is something to investigate, though. Like, maybe there is a course out there that can,
I feel like there must be a genre out there that's designed for women who don't want to end up with a man whose happy ever after would include them in a nice house by themselves. Like, who don't necessarily swear off sex, but they just don't need the man to hang around forever. Like, that genre has to exist, right?
Yeah, that's definitely women's fiction, I would say,
Is it?
Especially older, like you're saying. I mean, there has to be women out there writing that. I checked, like, D. Lilac, Lilac. She's a friend of mine on TikTok, and she writes cougar, older women. Although I think she might have steam and romance, but there's got to be people out there. Like I said, check in the groups and see. There's got to be somebody in that genre doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll find them. You'll find them. There's a thing for sexy, confident women who don't need to have the relationship and all that,
Right?
Yeah, and they just want to F around, and, that's
do their career thing, have their life thing.
Yeah.
Not have to marry a man for it.
Yeah. Maybe you are just starting the trend, Allie. You know, you're ahead of the game. If it doesn't exist right now, then you are ahead of the game. Although it's a little bit of a marketing uphill to be
Yeah.
marketing something you're ahead of the game on, but you just might be
You
ahead of the
really
game.
want to just get in like at the beginning of a trend, but not start the trend yourself. You just want to slide in behind the first people who are doing it.
You want to catch that opportunity.
Yes.
You know, maybe what you're talking about is cougar, like cougar talk. You know, if you look at all the cougar talk women, they're just into these young men and they're just having their fun and living their life. You know what I mean? There's got to be romance for those. Yeah, there's got to be romance for them. I like what Megan said. Why would women want, I mean, not romance, but I mean, just all about having fun and enjoying their lives and becoming that confident woman, you know, in their own right. Yeah, that's probably the journey, the emotional journey they have to go through. Why, and like you're saying, there's the public expectation of romance and the guy and the perfect everything, but no, they want to grow and go their own way, but still they want a boy toy.
We want the happy ever after, and I'm like, but you don't mean a happy ever after. You mean you want her to end up with a man.
Yeah.
Those two things do not necessarily add up.
Yeah.
Like,
and that makes
happy
for
after
really
could
great.
Just not.
Yeah. That makes for really great internal and external conflict. So you could definitely write that, but with a fantasy tinge, right?
Yeah.
I'd say go for it. Sex and money. Yep. Here's Megan. Definitely sounds like women's fiction, but usually in the women's fiction I've read, there's sex. But see, I do believe that there is this women's fiction fantasy, women's fiction paranormal coming out, right? It is there. That is a subcategory.
Yeah.
So I say write that. Yes. Go for it, Allie.
See, why do women have to learn something through sex? Why can't they just be like men and just have the sex and carry on with their life?
Because we're built with feelings and what's that? Not testosterone. What's the other? Estrogen. That's why. That's why, you know.
Huh. I think I missed out on the estrogen.
Or you need more of it, one or the other, to get normal.
No, I'm happy without it. I'm fine.
I don't see why they can't have the sex and carry on. I know.
Just tight.
Oh, I'm definitely, if number 2 ever goes away, I am just boy toy from here on out. That's it.
Right.
My mom and Ann talk about it too. We're done with husbands. You know?
Yeah.
We're perfectly independent women. We don't need them.
No.
Because we aren't taught to express our feelings through sex. Oh, like men are. Oh, I hear your little one is crying. It's time to go anyway, so. Poor baby.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so we will see you guys on Saturday, right?
Yeah, we will.
Alrighty. Have a good night, y'all. See you then.
Have lovely weeks.
Give Charlie a hug for us.
I will.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Night-night.